Alan Cafferkey here. Today we're going to talk about Google Gemini's gems. Gems are customizable AI assistants within Google's AI that are designed either by you or Google to meet specific user needs and preferences based on user instructions, which we usually call prompts with generative AI. If you're familiar with OpenAI's custom GPTs or Claude's projects, I think you'll understand gems pretty easily. They're basically preloaded prompts that you can repeatedly use for similar tasks. In a higher ed setting, such tasks might be helping students with writing and job searches, supporting faculty with course materials and research, or assisting administrators with applications and donor research. In general, they are customizable, allowing you to tailor your gems to specific needs. Just one note though, gems are only available in Gemini Advanced. You have to have a paid subscription to Gemini to access them. So with all that being said, let's just jump right into it. Okay, now here we are in Gemini Advanced. So when you log into Gemini, you'll find the left-hand menu. At the top, there's your new chat, there's your recent chats. Then below that are the gems. It's pretty well featured when you go in. To get you going, and probably to give you a better idea of how gems work, Google offers you a variety of preloaded gems. So, this learning coach, brainstormer, career guide, plenty more, all different roles. So each of these preloaded personas or preloaded gems are basically personas with some additional instructions to help execute the expected role of that persona. So in effect, the gem really is just kind of like a prompt shortcut. Unless you've pinned something, the most recent gem will be the one at the top. And again, when we come in, these default ones are what you're going to see. Now for each gem, you're going to see that there's this little kebab icon. Actually just recently found out that's what those three dots are called, a kebab. So for any gem that's a default, you will get the option of pin or make a copy. The only exception that I found so far is the learning coach, which only allows me to pin. I'm guessing that's because the learning coach is a little bit more involved than the rest of them, but not sure yet. Either way, when we make a copy, we can actually edit these. So we can't edit the default preloaded prompt, but we can make a copy of it and then edit that. And I want to go through that once just because it'll give you a sense of how these things are constructed and give us a sense of how we could make our own. So let's make a copy of the writing editor. Now here we go. So the options are few and far between. It's name, instructions, and knowledge. Name can be whatever. It doesn't have any effect on the prompt itself. It just helps you identify it. The instructions. Now, you'll find all sorts of ideas out there, plans out there on how to make a good prompt, and it's still a developing field. There's no one way to write a great prompt. But it's interesting to see which ways that Google has decided to write prompts in their own system. So here it gives a purpose. So for the writing editor, your purpose is to assist me in editing my writing. I will share a text with you, and you will provide thorough and scientific line-by-line edits and feedback on grammar, spelling, tense consistency, dialect, style, and structure. Good purpose. Gives a bunch of goals. Accept text input through copy pasting, edit and provide, feedback, etc., etc. Gives an overall direction. Lots of good points. Explain the reasoning behind each suggestion. That's always good. Keep context across the entire conversation. If greeted or asked what you can do, please briefly explain your purpose. And then step-by-step instructions. So this is all really solid and really good way to go. Now, the other thing you can add is knowledge. So if you have specific text that you want to add, that you want it to look at, you can. And that's pretty cool. Makes it a little bit like NotebookLM. However, this is definitely not NotebookLM in that it will look at the whole wide web too. And unless your instructions are telling it to give preference to the knowledge, it may skip over your knowledge altogether based on my own experience. So that's one of these. So let's see what happens to make one of our own. So let's just cancel that for now. Now I can go to the gem manager and I can create a new gem. And here we go. So I can do whatever I want. Okay, so for my new gem, let's do a cooking gem. We'll call it the gluten-free recipe coach. Be nice if I could spell recipe. So, let's see. I want you to help me make gluten-free recipes. I will provide you the ingredients I have when you ask me. You will then suggest various gluten-free options. Now, you'll notice I have this little button down here. This is basically asking AI to fix up my instructions for AI. So since that was pretty basic, let's go like that. Ooh, it's working. Whoa, it did a lot. Okay. Guide users in creating delicious and satisfying gluten-free recipes. Offer a wide range of gluten-free recipes. Oh boy. Okay, so it has really gone into great detail. For the sake of argument, I'm just going to accept. Let's hit save. Let's start the chat. Hello. Hello there, I'm your gluten-free recipe coach, here to help you whip up some delicious and satisfying gluten-free meals. Okay, what do I have today? I have, let's see what I just had for dinner. I have green beans, polenta, ribeye, potatoes, corn, and just to throw it off, whole wheat bread. There you go. So I can keep messing around with that. I can keep going back and forth. But this will give you a sense of it. Now, the whole idea here is that I can then come back to this another time, and it's always there. So I don't have to rewrite that prompt from scratch. I can do this over again. Now, that repeatability is, I think, the key feature here. So like once you have a prompt that works well, you'll have a tool that you can keep coming back to. One last thing I want to add is once you've created the gem, you can always go back and edit it. So you'll notice it's under your gems. You can also find it under Gem Manager, and if you wind up having a whole load of gems. But either way, just go and click on it. Click on the kebab. go to edit, and now you can make changes to it. Obviously, you can update the name, but more importantly, you can update the prompt itself. So you get some idea in the middle of the night on just the thing that the prompt needed, or some folks online start talking about new best practices for prompts, or you just keep tweaking it. Or also you can add some knowledge base to it, that perhaps there's like one great recipe book, or you always want it to push it toward like one reoccurring thing. You can do that. You can also add a bit of knowledge and realize that it made it worse, and then go back, edit it, and take that out. So there's a great opportunity for iteration here to keep making things better. And yeah, also, I mean, the other thing I should also say is you can take the prompt itself, copy and paste it, and then bring it into Gemini proper, or start tweaking with it in another AI and see what that has to say about it, and then bring it back and copy it over here. So plenty of ways to keep tinkering with this, like once you get your first draft done. So I hope you have a good sense of like how the inside of Gemini gems work now. Now, in doing a bit of research on gems, I've seen lots of use cases out there. I've saw one where someone used it for creative writing, where basically they designed the gem as a character in a story, and they kept coming back to the character and telling it what happened, and it would say what would happen next. Another person I saw was using it as a pocket psychologist to diagnose their dreams. Another person was using it for like a sports and health buddy. One person was just having it as a chat partner for all sorts of topics, a blogging helper, an English coach, a topic lexica, and then we just did our own gluten-free recipe generator. Now, thinking about this from the higher ed option, I think lots of offices can find use for this. Within the student support world, you could have like some help for academic planning, like creating personalized plans for degree requirements and courses, early warning monitor, like monitoring student engagement to identify at-risk cases depending on how much and what you can get connected to it. Student resources, like matching students with campus resources based on performance or interest. Academic advising, summarizing student records and flagging key discussion points. Having been an academic advisor myself, that's pretty neat. For faculty, it could help with course development, generating syllabi from templates and past successful courses. For research support, it could analyze research patterns and suggest directions and collaborators. For grant writing, it could strengthen proposals using successful examples and agency guidelines. For teaching enhancement, it could suggest improvements based on student feedback. Again, what are we plugging into it, that knowledge base? Admissions could use something like this, where it'd be something for application reviews, like evaluating applications against the criteria that you have, like student communications, personalizing responses to applicant inquiries. Enrollment management, optimizing admissions using historical data. Diversity initiatives, track demographics to inform outreach strategies. The one I'm really always curious about is development, and I definitely think that AI can be very helpful for donor research, identifying prospects, like using alumni data and public data. Campaign management, like tracking giving patterns and suggesting follow-up strategies. Stewardship, generating personal donor communications and impact reports. Like grants again, like identifying opportunities and helping draft proposals. So lots of different ways to use gems, but if you're still wondering like why you'd want to use gems, I'd give it a go for efficiency, efficacy, and ease. Efficiency, if you're going to repeatedly use a similar persona to do a similar task often, then gems are a huge time saver. Again, it's just like if I'm writing the same kind of thing, if I'm doing the same kind of thing over and over again, let's have that prompt. The other thing too is like when I'm using that prompt over and over again, like I'm able to iterate on it. I'm able to improve it. I'm able to make it a little bit better each time, and that can only help me in the long run. I can keep that improvement going. And then like NotebookLM, this is a no-code option, and I really like that. I know that whenever I see something really interesting with AI or anything IT related, but then someone says like, "Oh, we just have to do a little bit of coding," oh, I feel like I just ran into a brick wall. Like this is so much easier than having to like tinker around with Python or having to wrap my head around like how to use that sort of stuff. So I just think gems are a great way for you to automate repetitive tasks or streamline a workflow. Plus, since it's built on an LLM like Gemini, it's versatile, allowing you to address a wealth of possible scenarios. Even just look at those preloaded gems, like they were all over the place in terms of like what the possibilities were. So, and that lets you take advantage of expertise in loads of domains. So, hope that helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or post below. I guess I'll do the usual YouTube of like, comment, and subscribe. But there you go. Hope that was interesting. Take care.